I'm Becca. I am the owner and knitter of Positively Cozy. My small business is dedicated to making cute things in fun colors for people that are just a little bit nerdy like myself, and bonus points if you like cats. Welcome to my YouTube channel and my first little Q&A video. I'm here to hopefully give you a little overview of me and my business and answer any frequently asked questions so that you can get to know me a little better. While this is my business, I don't do it entirely alone. My mom is actually the one that crochets our plushies. This is our little lucky cat. This is one of our jumbo sharks. I'm the one that knits all of the hats and gloves. I'm the person that runs all of the financial stuff, all of the marketing, social media. If you're ever talking to anyone through any of my social media profiles, that's always going to be me. Mom's really great at helping me brainstorm different things, and she's really gotten into 3D printing lately, which has been great. She printed me this nice little customized double cat yarn bowl because I knit my gloves 2 at a time, so I always have 2 big cakes of yarn in here. So she's been really great for making me little things like this. And if you saw my Anime Iowa Artist Alley vlog, she printed a bunch of stuff for our display, which has been amazing. A few random fun facts about me are my favorite Pokemon is Ampharos. Look at this little Ampharos that my mom 3D printed for me. I actually have a bachelor's degree in financial planning. I got married in October to my high school sweetheart. We have 2 cats, a black male named Ziggy and a tuxedo female named Harper. You might have seen them on some of my studio vlogs. And I will throw in some fun facts about my mom as well. Her favorite Pokemons are Cubone and Growlithe. And she also has 2 cats, a gray one named Shadow and a Bengal named Mocha. And recently my mom and I have both been really loving playing the video game Fields of Mystria. It's still in early access, but we've been having a lot of fun with it. So back on track to talking about Positively Cozy and some of our products. We make original plushies of different animals, like here's our lucky cat, here is a bear. We also have things like mushroom turtles, and one of our most popular things are our little kitty ghost with removable cat beanies in a variety of different colors. We usually bring 30 of these to every convention that we go to, and we very often sell out before the weekend is over. We've also recently been making jumbo versions of some of our plushies, and I think these are super cute, especially the bear. This one's mine. I keep him. As for hats and gloves, what I'm wearing right now is one of my classic stripey sets. It has a stripe pattern on the gloves and the hat, and then this is actually a removable bow that can clip into the ear of the cat ear beanie, and it matches the paw prints. If you found me through social media at all, maybe you've seen some posts about my chunky cat beanies. These are one of my newer styles, and they're a little bit thicker and have this rolled brim, and they're actually super comfy. They may seem warmer, but they're actually more comfortable to wear in the warmer months, I've noticed. I wore one all night at Anime Iowa, and I did not even realize it was on my head most of the time. I have a lot of different styles of cat beanies and paw gloves. This is a solid cat ear beanie with an add-on for the inner ear corners. And I also have some more intricate designs like my skeleton cat beanie and skull paw gloves. These are some of my favorites. Okay, on to answering some actual questions. I'm going to start with a few frequently asked questions that I've kind of come up with myself or have gathered over the years. When did I start my business? I started Positively Cozy right after I graduated college in 2017. I learned how to crochet in 2015 maybe, and started to learn how to knit my senior year of college and was knitting all through my senior year. And I actually crocheted a cat beanie for my friend in college as a Secret Santa gift, and that was kind of my first dip into the world of cat beanies. And then right after I graduated, I found that I was really enjoying knitting hats. And that summer I also went to Anime Iowa with a friend, and we were walking around the artist alley, and my friend was like, "Do you think you would want to sell your hats here?" And I was like, yeah, I think I might. That year Anime Iowa was kind of the spark of me wanting to make stuff to sell at artist alleys. I already had the name Positively Cozy as my Instagram knitting account, and so I kind of used that as the guideline for my brand and the kind of things that I make, which is why I have like the cat beanies, the paw gloves, things that are kind of cozy creature related. My mom actually learned how to crochet when I was in college because I live in the Midwest and it gets very, very cold. And I was walking miles and miles back and forth between my dorm and classes and things. I was just like, "Hey mom, can you learn how to crochet and make me a scarf?" Which, big ask, but she was like, "Sure." She's always been really good at sewing and things, and so this felt like a logical step for her. It turns out she really enjoyed crocheting. She made me a wonderful, she probably doesn't like it anymore, but a wonderful hat and scarf set that kept me warm through the winter. And after she learned how to crochet, she taught me right away, and I was like, I'm not gonna like this. I've always wanted to be crafty and artsy, but I was never really good at anything. But she taught me how to crochet one night right after she had learned, and I immediately fell in love, and it's like, oh, maybe this is my thing. And then a few months later, when I taught myself how to knit, that's when everything really clicked. I picked up on knitting really quickly, and that was kind of the moment where it's like, oh, knitting is something that's gonna be a part of my life now. And it's become a much bigger part of my life than I ever could have anticipated. My mom and I both started off making things like hats and scarves, and I was really enjoying that, but she found out that she wasn't really into that quite as much, and she started crocheting a few stuffed animals, and that's when it really clicked for her. She was really having fun doing that, and she started selling a few to some of her coworkers at work, and that's sort of when everything just sort of came together. I was gonna make hats and gloves to sell at anime conventions. She always liked attending anime conventions with me when I was younger. She enjoyed making the plushies, and then you just mix all that together, and that's how you get Pawsitively cozy. And that's a good segue to the next question: where do I sell my things? The main place I sell things, especially for you if you're watching this, is on my online shop. I run my own website on WordPress using WooCommerce. I left Etsy in 2019 because their values were no longer aligning with mine as a small business. I didn't like that they were pushing for things like free shipping when that doesn't make sense for my business model. I generally charge a $5 flat rate for shipping, and if I wanted to make that free, I would need to add an extra $5 to all of my items to cover that cost. And a lot of people buy a hat and a pair of gloves together. So if I combined it all, you'd really end up paying $10 for shipping for a hat and glove set. And I wasn't happy with that. It makes more sense with my type of products to just charge the shipping. Back when I was on Etsy though, I was driving all of my own traffic through social media anyway, and so it just made sense for me to leave and focus on my own shop, and I've been really happy with that so far. I'm really happy with the amount of traffic that I drive through my social media and various platforms, so at this time I don't see myself going back to Etsy, except for maybe to process some international orders. Alright, before I forget, we need to talk about the elephant in the room. This would be a very funny time if we had an elephant plush for me to like have an elephant in the room. Patterns! So first of all, we use other creators' patterns for all of the plushies, mostly because my mom likes following other creators' patterns, and we found a lot that we really love, and all of those are linked on my website. The link for all of the crochet amigurumi patterns that we use is in the description below. We have tweaked a lot of things just to make them on brand for us. Like this lucky cat is the combination of 2 different patterns, and I do have them both linked on that website as well. I don't plan on sharing any of the customizations that we do though, because it's something that makes us unique, and also it feels weird to be modifying someone else's pattern and then sharing that. So I just share the links to the base patterns that we use, and you can figure it out from there. As for my hats and gloves, I get asked all the time for patterns, but at this time it's just not something that makes sense for me to do. Pattern writing is not a skill I currently possess, and so I would have to take time away from knitting orders for my customers to learn a new skill, write patterns for all my items, and if I do write patterns, I want them to be really good because I would want to sell them as a source of passive income, and so I would want them to be of a really high quality. At this point, I can't afford to hire someone else to get me to that quality, and also I don't have the time to develop that skill currently. Maybe if my YouTube channel here gets monetized, I would consider doing some video tutorials. I think that could be fun. I think that would be a good fit for my type of products because especially the cat ear beanies are pretty simple. A lot of what makes mine unique is not in just like a stitch count or the yarn size that I use. It's just a bunch of little tips and tricks that I've developed over the 7 years that I've been knitting and making them. Another question I get asked a lot is, do I make my hats and gloves for kids? And I do not. I'm the type of person that has spent a little too long walking past the children's aisle in Walmart or something and being like, oh, I wish they had that in my size. So when I started my business, I specifically wanted to make cute things that would normally only be marketed toward children, specifically for adults. Let's move on to some of the questions that I've received on social media. Favorite item to make? This is actually really easy because lately it's been my scrappy chonky cat ear beanies. Not only do the chonky beanies work up fast to begin with, the scrappy ones just kind of use some random colors that I find really exciting to make. Whenever I finish using like one of the cakes on my yarn wall here, it ends up in a smaller cake, and once they're to this size, I can't make a full hat with this without having to add a knot into it. So I just kind of collect them all here in a little in a little tub, and this is gonna become the next scrappy chunky cat beanie. I also have some older yarn from a company that I no longer purchased from that I need to slowly work through, so I sometimes combine those into my scrappy chunky cat beanies as well. So it's a great way to use up yarn that I wouldn't otherwise use. And with all the color changes, it's just so exciting to knit. I already knit these pretty quickly, but the scrappy ones especially so. Someone also asked if I have a specific design or color that I like working with best, and the answer is pink. Teal and pink and black are my favorite colors. I don't like working with black. Nobody likes working with black, but those are my favorite colors to use. Do you have any new products that you plan to start making? At this time, nothing on the short term. I do have some ideas for, so I've got my regular paw gloves, I've got the skull paw gloves. I do have some ideas for other shapes of paw prints, so stay tuned for that. I really want to do a Pokeball one, but I also don't want to get in trouble, and I don't really do any objective fan art at this time, but I might do a Pokeball paw, we'll see. As for plushies, a few of the things on my short list that I'm currently looking for the perfect pattern for are things like maybe a raccoon, a frog, a dragon. Let me know if any of those sound especially cute too, and I will work harder on finding a good pattern for those. How do you pick colorways for your products? This is actually a really great question because I use Procreate on my iPad, and I have little templates. Here's a skeleton set that I was working on designing. I have this little template that I can use. I can select a color and kind of fill it in, and I've got the different layers here for coloring in things however I want, and I do this a lot, especially for the skeleton sets. Here's a bunch that I designed recently, just having fun playing around with my digital template. I've got templates for my solid cat ear beanie and paw glove sets. Oh, here's a secret new product that I haven't actually released yet, but here's some colorways that I was playing around for that. Got a template for our caterpillar plushies, our owl plushies. Here's one for my winter paw print bear beanies. I pretty much just trace my products and then make the layers for all the different colors. Here's one for my cat plushies. These can be customized quite a bit. So yeah, I love my iPad and Procreate for doing all of these templates. Another great question, how long does it take to knit your cat beanies and paw glove? My chunky cat beanies are the fastest. These are probably about 1 to 2 hours. My regular and stripy cat beanies, about 1.5 hours, 3 hours. Paw gloves are about 2 to 3. It depends a lot on my mood and the complexity. The skeleton hats take quite a while because they've got the complex vertical stripe. And then making the inner ear corner bits is a whole extra step because I knit these separately and then attach them on. It also depends on how good of a show that I'm watching, determines how fast I can make something, and how often I'm distracted by my phone or just like getting up, walking around to play with the cats and everything. What's the hardest part about being a business owner? I would say the taxes and the financial stuff, but I'm actually really into those things. I really like bookkeeping, I like doing taxes. I'm a giant nerd, and so that stuff is actually kind of fun. Honestly, every part of running a business that is hard, I do find enjoyment in things like making YouTube videos, doing TikToks, social media marketing. I kind of love it all. That's sort of why I think I'm really well suited to being a small business owner. I guess I'll say one of the hardest things, and the reason I haven't done it, is writing patterns. That's something that I haven't quite been prepared to tackle yet. Dealing with mean and negative comments is also sort of hard. I'm getting a lot better at letting it just fly over my head, and a lot of the times mean comments are just wrong. And so I've built up enough confidence over the years about myself and my business that some of it doesn't even bother me. I get a lot of negative comments about my prices being too high, but at this point I have customers that pay my prices, and so I'm not really worried about it. I'm not willing to take a pay cut for my hard work just because someone on the internet is mean to me. All right, and then we've got a couple of fun questions. What is your favorite ice cream? There's actually a local ice cream shop within walking distance of my house that I love to go to. They have a lot of really fun and unique flavors. They've got one that has like M&Ms and peanut butter and caramel in it. That one's really tasty. I am a chocolate chip mint positive person. I love me a good chocolate chip mint. It's been a while since I've had chocolate chip mint ice cream though. My friend made some eggnog ice cream at our last Christmas party, and that was delicious. And I usually don't like eggnog. And then, what is your favorite shareable app at Chili's? I'll be honest, I don't know if I've been to a Chili's, so maybe I need to go to Chili's and get some shareable apps. I don't know. Such a sad ending to this video. But if you're at all having fun here and enjoying my content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you can see when I post new videos. I've been doing a lot of studio vlogs lately just because that's kind of what I've been doing. I don't have another convention lined up anytime soon, so for now you're just gonna have to enjoy my Anime Iowa Artist Alley vlog. And I don't know, this whole YouTube thing's still pretty new to me, but so far I've been having a lot of fun with it, so I hope you join me for this fun, exciting YouTube journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.